traveling with your technology, powering on the go. That's today's topic on Tech for Experts and Authors, otherwise known as Tech Talk with Chet. Hey, that's me, Chet Davis, your technology tutor. Happy to be with you today. Yesterday we talked a little bit about traveling with your technology, specifically packing and planning your trip, some apps and thoughts, suggestions for planning out a trip. Today I want to talk a little bit about powering your devices on the go. I mean, after all, they are electronic, and if they don't have power, they're not working, right? So it ain't no good. And that's good English for you, right? First thing is I'm very thoughtful about taking the right technology with me depending on the trip. Sometimes I'll take a smaller camera instead of my big camera. And, oftentimes this is the camera I take with me, right? The smartphone, the iPhone, the camera that's always with me, and get great photos and video on that. The other thing is, do I take my iPad or do I take my MacBook Pro, my 15-inch laptop? Depends on the trip, depending on what I'm doing. Always thoughtful about that. And an iPad, an iPhone can last many more hours than a laptop can. Now, if you're a transcontinental traveler and you're doing it multiple times a week, you may want to invest in a laptop that has that significant battery life, like the MacBook Air and other competing products that have 10 to 12 hours of battery life, so last the whole flight. And then there is options as well for now powering while you're on the flight. And we're going to talk about that the day after tomorrow when we talk about, tech on an airplane. But today, I want to focus specifically on just general power issues. So one of the first things is to know that there are applications that will use more power than others. Watching a movie, watching a video can use more power. Things that require system resources. What I call heavy lifting applications, things like architectural drafting programs, video editing programs, they're going to take more power than another thing. But if you need to use them, obviously you need to use them, and then you're going to look for supplemental power. But I did want to show you this, and this may be the case on your phone as well. In fact, let me bring up my iPhone and show you this app that's baked into the later versions of the operating system that can be very useful. So I'm into the Settings app on my iPhone, and if you're in the later versions of the operating system, you have this function down here. If it's late in the day and maybe you used your iPhone on your flight for several hours and the battery's getting down, one thing you don't want to do is get to a location without a phone, especially if you need to contact the hotel or maybe a friend or family member who's picking you up or something. Always want to land with some power on your phone. And I'm going to show you another gadget in a moment there that will give you some more battery, but maybe you don't have that. So what you want to do is extend your battery life. Here's one thing you definitely want to be aware of. This here under Settings app, scroll down here in the general section, click on battery, and see this low power mode? Turn that on and watch what happens. See the little battery in the upper right corner, how it turns gold or yellow? I'll turn it off and back on again. That's a reminder that your low power mode is on. And what that does is it temporarily reduces power consumption. So there are a number of things that do not automatically turn on. It doesn't automatically fetch your mail. There's no background app refresh or automatic download. Some visual effects are reduced, etc. You can read more about it right there in the app. And in fact, you can scroll down and see over the past 24 hours and over the past 7 days what's taken the greatest amount of battery consumption. So you get an idea of use, and maybe, oh my gosh, I had no idea. I'm not going to use that app as much because I really don't like it. But anyway, this is a great little feature, and this is low power mode. And this that I'm showing you specifically here on the iPhone. Next, I want to show you this right here. Something I definitely recommend bringing with you, and that is your power block, or the device that plugs into the AC port or the electrical port at the airport while visiting friends and family, at the restaurant while you're eating, what have you, and a USB charging cable that goes to whatever kind of adapter your smartphone uses. So for me, I'm on the iPhone, and I've got this guy here, a USB to Lightning cable. You may have a USB to Mini. Depends, again, on the device you're using. Definitely have one of these, a quality version of these, and I always buy manufacturer created devices. So I always buy Apple versions of these. You may want to buy versions depending on the smartphone that you're using. Avoid really deeply discounted devices. Yeah, they'll save you a few pennies, but a couple things. They could cause malfunctions in the device due to improper voltage or amperage. There are instances of fires being generated and excessive heat, and they may just cease to work. They're oftentimes a substandard build, low quality build, and so they're not going to last as long. So you're not really saving money in the long run, and it's going to be frustrating. So spend a little bit more and get a good quality version. Keeping these with you, and here's why I recommend. Let me show you this slide here. Now, this is an example of something you see in lots of airports and convenience centers, travel centers. And the bottom two connectors there, and you can see there's a white plug already plugged in or connected. That's fine. And that's where I would plug in the little adapter I was just showing you, because that's going to power my device. But the two USB ports, those are called USB-A. That's the type of port that is, or connector, the jack. You want to be careful about using those. And here's why. Not so much that the people who put that there are out to get you. They're probably not malicious. However, there are some hackers, some cyber thieves, who have been successful about utilizing those ports, infecting them, and putting in a virus that will infect your mobile device and can even read data, access your personal information. So by bringing your own charger block and USB cable, you're going to plug right into the wall, right into the power outlet, and not use those USB ports. As convenient as they are, they're not a good deal to use. Now, if you have to use one of those, absolutely positively have to use one of those, do not use your smartphone, your iPhone, your iPad, your tablet while you're plugged into one of those public USB ports, because if you're using it, then your device is open and they can be accessing your personal information. What you would be wiser to do is go ahead and lock it, and you should have a locked passcode, because while it's charging then, it's not allowing anybody to access the personal data. They have to open it up with the passcode to get into the device while it's charging or plugged into the USB port. Okay, so a couple of quick items there. The other thing, as I mentioned, a nice gadget to have with you that can save your, well, it won't save your life, conceivably it could, but it will definitely make your trip less frustrating, is this, what we call a power block or a power bank. This is a very small version, and this is by a company called Mophie, M-O-P-H-I-E. They make cases and a lot of power accessories. And what this does is this provides a single charge of an iPhone. So if I'm traveling somewhere and my iPhone battery is fully depleted, I can connect this with my USB to Lightning cable, and it will give it one full charge. And this does not have to be plugged in while it's charging. So it's a battery. It's like having an Energizer bunny in your pocket, in your purse, in your briefcase, that you have a backup charge. Now, so you can connect it there and it will charge it fully beginning one time. In fact, let me just show you this here at my Amazon link. Here's a couple different examples. So here's the Mophie Power Reserve. You can see you can purchase this for $24.95 US. There are different versions, and I do have a link to this in my Experts and Authors Amazon store, in my list online. You're welcome to access that, or whatever you choose. And be aware of this too on Amazon. Sometimes different colors render you more money. So if you're going for the navy blue, that's $42. And if you're going with the white and the gold trim, that's $34.95. But you can get a standard white one for just under $24. So this is very, very useful. And make sure you also bring the charging cable. So there's a separate cable. In fact, let me show you that here. This looks the same as your Lightning cable, and you might think, oh, I've got it covered. I'll just bring one of those instead of both. That ain't going to work. This one goes USB to the phone, Lightning port. This one goes USB to a micro USB that charges the little power bank. So there's a standard USB that I'm going to plug the phone charger in, and then this micro USB that the charging cable goes in. So the next time I get into my hotel room or staying with family, I plug that in and charge it up until these little lights go all the way up to 4, telling me it's 4/4 full, or it's ready to be used and taken on my next trip. And generally this will stay, the juice will stay in it for some period of time. I always check it though before I go out on a trip. You can even get these power banks in a much larger version. For example, here's one here by Lizone, and it's a little bit more pricey, but this one will charge a phone multiple times. Some of these devices will charge between 6 and 10 times your smartphone. So if you're out camping or you're going to be away from power for a number of days, even a week, this may be advantageous. It also will work to recharge a laptop and or an iPad. So consider the device or devices you're planning on traveling with, and then buy one of these power banks, these kind of battery chargers that will meet the demand. So you may want a larger capacity device that's going to charge more devices and or can even charge your laptop. There is another device we'll talk briefly about tomorrow, because tomorrow is Tech in Your Car or the Train, and there is a power inverter you can plug into the 12-volt adapter on your car, and it will give you alternating current that you can plug a standard computer power supply into it. Oh, but I'm already giving away tomorrow's content, right? Well, that's it for today's show. Please do like the page if you haven't already, because that way you'll be informed when I share with you some more content, some more tips to help you use technology more successfully, more creatively, and more securely. That's my mission. That's my passion. My name's Chet Davis. Thanks for joining me. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow.